We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knock 'em Dead Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. We're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
You go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouses.
Comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie.
Right.
It's a comedy. It's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
right.
And then the audience has to figure out who did it and why. And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah, they solve it.
All by themselves.
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's fun.
So we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go, everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
Other things that you do aside from mystery.
we do game shows. Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a trivia game show, or it could be, again, we ad-lib with that too. So they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
Yeah. What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
Oh, wait.
What letter comes after A? Go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's two shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
I have to come see that one.
You're welcome anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even brought
growing
you a
up
shirt.
in St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Oh, of course I did.
Hey!
That you will wear everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knock 'em Dead Comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Can I
Knock 'em Dead
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like you're drinking
Thanks.
something.
I'm having fun on the set.
We actually do put water in it when guests ask,
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest.
if you don't ask ahead of time, wait, this one's full of water. You ready?
Nice.
1, 2, 3. All right, there you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Okay, we'll just do that for now.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warms up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It is Monday. It is October 31st. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope everybody's well. Thanks for tuning in this morning to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show, coming at you live from the Gov's Comedy Club podcast Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us here on Twitch. Please, this way. Please subscribe to this channel and like it, or whatever you got to do here on Twitch. I don't know if you like things, thumbs up. I don't know whatever you do here on Twitch. But more importantly, please share the link on all your social media pages and tell everybody you know about all the great shows at Gov's Comedy Club Podcasts. Right now, we're the only show that's on Twitch, that's on our Twitch channel, I should say. The rest of our shows are still on our YouTube channel, but we're going to be moving them over soon. So please subscribe to the Twitch channel and share the link to this show, because it's a good show, I'd like to think. But all our shows will be here soon, so please subscribe and tell everybody you know about the Twitch channel and Governor's Comedy Clubs and all the great podcasts and all the great live shows, all the great stuff here at Governor's. Lots of great stuff. So hope everybody had a great weekend. Yes, I am by myself again today. Thanks for joining me. The phone lines are open if anybody would like to call in, and we can hear about your weekend and what you got going on. Tell us about Halloween, what you got going on for Halloween today. I do have a costume. This is not it. Some of you may think it is. Some of you may wish it was, because, maybe you think there's something better underneath this. But this is it. But I do have a costume that I'm going to share. Well, I shouldn't say a costume. I have a mask that I'm going to share with you guys shortly. I'm going to talk about some other stuff first, and then I'm going to share my mask with you. If you want to send us photos of your mask or your costume, whatever you got going on today, I will share it. That would be fun. And so that's the deal. That's what's cooking. Going to talk about the weekend. Got a lot to talk about from this weekend. It was a busy, fun, but busy weekend. Good morning. Bosie says, good morning, everyone. Okay, cool. Good morning, Jeff. Andy Plajanos, nothing scarier than the genuine article. Oh, yeah? Funny you should say that, Andy. Stick around, because I'll be showing my mask in a little while. And speaking of Andy, I got a lot from the weekend to talk about. A lot of it involves Andy. A lot of it. And I'm not just talking about, our usual weekend circle jerk. That starts on Fridays when we're in here. When we are in here. We do our show together Fridays. You should see what goes on after the show. That's probably the real show. Hello, Jay. Missed you last night, Andy. My bad, got back late. What does that mean? You guys having private conversations. Andy was here at the club. What up, good sir? Hi, Jay. How are you, pal? Looking forward to seeing you and Dan tomorrow, I hope. I'll be serious just for a second. I love when Dan and Andy... I love when all three of them come in. Sorry, but I got confused. But on Tuesdays, when it's Dan and Jay, I love when they come in. And I love when Andy comes in, too. I really have a great time with those guys, and I'm glad they're regulars here on the show. And now my buddy Jeff, who looks like he's going to do once a week with me. At least I hope he is. He'll be back here this Thursday. That's nice. But speaking of co-hosts... all right, so tomorrow, wearing my It's a Sickness t-shirt tomorrow. Yes, I want to talk about that, Jay. Thank you. So I'm glad Jay will be here. So that's fantastic. Andy, it's always great when Andy's here. Andy's become one of my best friends, and I love when he's here on Fridays. And have a lot to talk about with him from the weekend. So what's going on? So, Jay, Andy, I know, was here at Governor's last night. What happened, Andy? Did you leave and then, Jay, you showed up later? Or, Jay, were you at McGuire's or something and Andy didn't go there? What? Yeah, fill me in. Well, yeah, fill me in. All right. Everybody getting ready for Halloween today? So did you guys go to any Halloween parties? What'd you guys do this weekend? We got a good number of people watching, so tell us about your weekend. Tell us if you did any Halloween-type stuff. Or tell us whatever it was. Jay, no, I didn't make it because I had a wedding, so I didn't get back until late. Oh, so you didn't show up at the club at all. You're just saying that you missed them. Oh, that's nice. Andy stayed here at Governor's and then left after Carrie went up. Then he went to Alibi and Farmingdale after, and he didn't get up to perform. Yeah, you know what? Let's start a movement. I want you guys to contact Governors and get your friends and family to contact Governors and ask them, have them call or email or whatever and say, hey, I'm just wondering when is the next date that Andy Plajanos is going to be at the club in Levittown, on the main stage in Levittown? Get like a bunch of people to, jam up their phone lines and their emails. So I'm just wondering when the next time Andy Plajanos is going to be at the Governor's main stage. Oh, he'll be at the Giggle Room. No, the main stage, the main club. Let's make that happen. We got to get Andy on the main stage here at Governor's. That's the goal. That's the mission. We're on a mission from God. Get Andy Plajanos on the main stage at Governor's in Levittown. Jeff Bosie. I got dressed up several times this weekend. All right, yeah, so let me talk about the weekend. Very busy weekend. October is always a busy time for Knock 'em Dead comedy. Knock 'em Dead comedy, as you guys, I would think pretty much everybody who's watched, all of our regular viewers here know that Knock 'em Dead comedy performs comedic murder mysteries audience interactive, and comedic game shows. And we do custom jobs as well, but we're mainly known for our murder mysteries. So, of course, October is always a busy time for us. We get brought in to all sorts of occasions to perform our comedic murder mysteries. It's obviously the past 2 years have been slow. This year we picked up a little bit. We're not back to where we were pre-pandemic, but we seem to be heading in that direction. So we're very excited to be back and make our way back to see everybody and have some fun. And even this month, to be honest, we had some cancellations. There are still some establishments, some organizations still having trouble getting, a lot of people in one big room, which is totally understandable. But again, we're slowly working our way back. Before the pandemic, we were doing 60 to 80 shows a year, which we were very proud of, very excited about, and our goal is to get back there. So, but of course, this weekend, with Halloween being today, so you had a whole weekend of parties. Knock 'em Dead Comedy performed 3 shows this weekend, 1 on Friday night and 2 on Saturday. So to Jeff and the whole cast, I'd like to name them. Jeff Bosey. I'm going to name the people who worked. Some people did all 3 shows this weekend, and I'm going to name them first. Eric Shevlin, Jeff Bosey, Linda Bartolomeo, and Greg Halverson. Linda Bartolomeo, you've seen her. She's been in here. She's a lot of fun. She is the face of Knock 'em Dead Comedy. If you've ever seen us, then you've seen her. She is phenomenal. I've been personally doing murder mysteries with her since, for 25 years. Yeah, this year is 25 years. And she's just fantastic, and I hope I never have to do shows without her. Hello, Beansy. Nice to see you. So those 4 people did all 3 shows that Knock 'em Dead Comedy had this weekend. And then I'd like to thank the rest of the cast. Sally, of course, who was stage manager. Eric Shevlin's son, Matt, he filled in for Sally at one of the shows. Rick Beck, who used to be in here, right, with Rick's movie picks. He did one of the shows this weekend. Liz Jeffrey, who's been in here. If you guys remember, she was the one who found out she was adopted and then found out she has 10 siblings and they've all reconnected just in the past maybe 3 or 4 years. She did 2 of the shows, and we'd like to wish her well. It was actually her last shows with Knock 'em Dead Comedy. She's moving on to bigger and better things, so we wish her all the best, and we're going to miss her. Jessica Gray did one of the shows. Jessica Gray is a fantastic actress, very, very, very funny. And she was with us years ago. She moved, but now she came back, so she'll be working with us regularly again. So we're very excited about that. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. I think that's everybody. What I'd like to do, I'm going to show you some pictures and some footage from this weekend shows. So Friday night, we were here at Governor's. We performed in the Giggle Room, and it didn't sell out, but we were close to it. There were maybe 10 seats left, so we'll take it. Of course, we always want to sell out, but we'll take just having 10 empty seats. There's a picture of Linda Bartolomeo. She has a love scene in this particular show. So this show was the 80s themed murder mystery that, I've been showing you the flyer for the past, what feels like 3 years, pushing the show. It was an 80s themed murder mystery. Most of the audience showed up in 80s costumes, which was a lot of fun. We had a fun costume contest. We had... it was insane. We had the costume contest, and we had a dance contest. This was the show at Governor's on Friday night, and my character, and I played it that night at Governor's. My character hosts the dance contest. So we were doing the show. We got to that part, the dance contest. We brought 4 ladies. I think the audience, I think, was only 4 guys in the whole audience. It was all women. And there were, I think, maybe 20 people that were together, a bunch of nurses. So they were drinking and living it up, and they were nuts. We bring 3 of these nurses up for the for a dance contest that I'm leading. So I'm on the stage with them. Tony got his Christmas goose early, says Jeff. Kinda. So these 3 ladies are up there, and there were 4 ladies, 4 ladies and myself on the stage. They were feeling pretty good. So all the ladies dance, and this was the last contestant. She starts doing her thing. She's dancing very provocative. It's Governors, so there's not many lines in a comedy club. So there was a lot of cursing and a lot of innuendos and a lot of line crossing. So this lady, she's dancing very provocatively, and it was a lot of fun. She was a good-looking lady, and it was fun. The whole place was into it and enjoying it. Nobody was offended. We weren't crossing any lines. Everybody was having a good time. This lady, you know what? I'll show you this picture. I'm going to show you a picture from Saturday night. But I had, we did the same show. All 3 shows this weekend were the same show. The same show. And this picture's from Saturday night. That's me. And that's the outfit I was wearing here at Governor's Friday night as well. It's an 80s themed show, so I got the mullet, I got the bad jacket, I got the net shirt, I got the thin tie, the baggy, corny pants. Got it all going on. And so this girl starts dancing, and she takes my jacket off. And she's, flossing down there, and she's using it. And she then throws it into the audience. And it's a very small stage in that giggle room. If you've never been there, it's a very small stage. So this lady, and I'm trying to back up because I don't like being a part of it. You guys go crazy. I'm just hosting. Sure enough, she comes over to me. She grabs the wig that I had on. She throws that into the audience, which I feel bad because some lady caught it and then put it on her head, which she got my sweat all over herself. She'll never be the same. Excuse me. So then this woman corners me and pulls off my net shirt, which I guess was not a big deal because the netting shirt was already see-through, but she grabbed it and she ripped it. Well, she didn't rip it, but she pulled it off me. So now I'm bare-chested on the stage, which has never happened to me before. It was definitely awkward. And as far as I can tell, not many people out there want to see this guy, bare-chested. It's not a pretty sight. So it pretty much stopped there. But there were a few times where she grabbed the waistline of my pants. There were a couple times I thought she was going to put her hand other places. There was one point she had a very big tongue, which, is a very good thing. But in that particular moment, because she then got closer to me, started sticking her tongue out. And, you got to go with it because, you're trying to make people laugh. You're doing this show and you can't, when you're doing that kind of show, you can't say no. It's like an improv show. You never say no. You got to go with it or, give somebody a softball to keep them going. But I was nervous. I didn't want our tongues to touch. I wasn't going to make out with this woman I never saw before, let alone in front of, a room that's filled up 90%. So I was getting nervous. I'm sticking my tongue out to go with the joke, and she was leaning in. I'm like, oh, no. In my head, of course, I'm smiling. And Sally said afterwards, she goes, I can tell that you were getting very nervous. She goes, but I don't think the audience did. Hello, Ken Pichelle. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you, pal. We're getting a lot of Ken Pichelle lately. I'm very happy about that. So Sally said, she goes, I could tell you were getting nervous, she goes, but I don't think the audience saw it. She goes, I think you sold it. This lady and I did not touch our tongues, thank goodness. And no disrespect to the lady. She was beautiful. She was a lot of fun. We want, people like that to enhance our shows. Our shows are audience interactive, and they're a lot of fun. But they're fun because of the audiences. We need an energetic, crazy group. So like I said, I went with it. We're sticking our tongues out next to each other, but we didn't touch. And then she backed off. She finished her dancing, and I got my clothes back, and I got everything back on. It was pretty freaky. Yikes! I didn't want our tongues to touch. Ken Pichelle, really quick review. Ken Pichelle, we were doing a murder mystery on Friday night here at Governor's, and a lady. I was hosting a dance contest in the middle of the show, where a lady, as she was dancing, she grabbed me and pulled my jacket and my shirt off, and I was bare-chested on stage, and yeah, I was very nervous. But the actor that I am dedicated to the craft and my art. I went with it, but luckily, in my opinion, it didn't go too far. Like I said, she did reach for my, the waistline and the pants a couple times, and that made me very nervous. I wasn't sure what she was going to do, but she was cool. I think she was just playing it up too, trying to get a reaction out of the audience. Wowzers, says Ken Pichelle. Zoinks! Golly gee willikers, Scoob. So that was fun. I got another video. Like I said, I got a bunch of videos and pictures to show you from the weekend. This is a video of Eric Shevlin. Forgive me. You might want to lower the computer a little bit. The volume might be kind of loud on this. I'm not sure, but just be ready just in case. So it was our 80s. So it's an 80s themed show. It's an 80s high school reunion. I play the jock who basically peaked in high school. We have our snotty bitch, who's the hot bitch back in school. We got our cheerleader who's full of school spirit. And we have a nerd, your technical nerd with the, pencil protector and the pocket protector and all that stuff. It was back to the 80s. The 80s were a bit wild. You're absolutely right, Ken Pichelle. And yeah, and this is a wild moment with Eric Shevlin. He plays on this night he played the nerd. And at one point he's talking about the prom from back in the 80s, and he's trying to recreate how he was dancing with his date, who was actually his cousin, at the prom. So here's a shot. Here's some video of Eric Shevlin. Wait till you see this. And here it is. Sorry, I thought it was longer. So Eric, that was a shot of Eric dancing. The reason I show that, well, first of all, it's pretty funny. But secondly, the main reason I showed that was because he was dancing a lot. I think it was after I stopped the video. He started really dancing very wildly, and he was like bouncing all over the place. And of course, because he's 52 years old and he's fat, he pulled something. He pulled a muscle. He pulled a muscle. And even I was walking better than him after the show. I was walking better than him. Because, I may have a fake leg, but I still get around, and, I'm in decent shape. I got some extra pounds, but, I don't get sore the next day very often when doing stuff. I don't pull muscles. Eric's been pulling muscles for 30 years, because up until a year ago he was fat. So he's out of shape. And of course he couldn't breathe after he was done dancing either. So that was we had a great time here at Governor's on Friday night, and hope to get back here soon. Always a good time here. And yeah, hats off to Eric Shevlin. Like I said, we did 3 shows, and he played. Eric not only did all 3 shows, but he played 2 different roles. He played the nerd in the video you saw. He played that twice. And then Saturday afternoon, he played a different part. He played my part because Sally and I were at White Post, so we couldn't be there. And Rick Beck came in and played Eric's the nerd part. Yeah, so hats off to the one and only Eric Shevlin for handling that show that I couldn't be at and knocking 2 different roles out of the park. And again, to do 2 different roles is never easy, but to do it. So then to do, the nerd the night before, my part next day, and then go back to the nerd that night, that's very hard. I think any actor will tell you. So hats off to Eric, and I thank him for a bang-up job. So Saturday, like I said, so there was a show Saturday during the day where the cast did, while Sally and I were at White Post. Saturday night, we did another show, and I'd like to show you some photos and video from that show. First off, I'm going to show you Bosie. I think all of you should see a photo of Bosie. Can I? I don't know if I can make that bigger. No, I can't. Okay. Here's Jeff. Check out Bosie. That's Bosie right in the middle with the blonde hair and the pink and the spandex. Jeff played a role. Oh boy, says Bosie. Oh boy. Jeff's role. How can I put it? Very Richard Simmons like. Maybe a little worse. Here's a closer shot of Jeff talking, with some audience members. It's not a great picture. There's nothing really much going on there, but I'm showing it because I want you guys to get a better look at his outfit, and that's the only shot I have. Ken Pichelle says it's epic. Yeah, it's fantastic. Jeff, and that's just another role that Jeff has learned with Knock 'em Dead Comedy. He's now done 3 different shows with us. Our Redneck Wedding, our Mob theme show, and our 80s high school reunion. And he's been great. Jeff's been great at it. For a guy who's never acted before, you would never guess that he's never acted before. So, yeah, he was great. And again, thank you, Jeff, for doing all 3 shows this weekend. Jeff's another busy guy. He works a lot. Jeff, was it this past Thursday that they threw you on the main stage, or was that last week? Either way, Jeff's always doing something. He's a busy guy. He busts his ass. And I know he wasn't. He hadn't gotten a lot of sleep the past few nights, so he worked hard. Oh, and also Jessica Gray and Greg Halverson, both of them a little under the weather this weekend too. And Greg did all 3 shows while not feeling good. He had a stomach virus. Well, maybe not a virus, but whatever. It wasn't contagious, whatever it was. Jessica Gray, just not feeling great, but they're troopers. So what turned out to be the stocking stuffer, said Ken Pichelle. That's a good question. What did you use, Jeff? I don't think I saw what you ended up using. What did you use, like a rope with, that was like duct taped or something? Yeah, Jeff, let us know what you did there. All right, but now, Saturday night, the picture that I showed you guys, the picture of me, the 2 pictures of Jeff, they were taken Saturday night. I have more footage from Saturday night because we were pleasantly surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised. I found out earlier in the day, but the rest of the cast was pleasantly surprised when in the audience was none other than Andy Plajanos. Andy and his beautiful wife, Becca, and their wonderful daughters, they came to the show, which I thought was super nice of them. I thank you, all of you Plajanoses, for coming to the show. Love, when people support, and I definitely owe you 1 or 2, Andy. I need to come see you more often and support. But so with Andy there, how can I not utilize him? So, like I showed you before, the picture from Governors the other night, I showed you a picture of Linda Bartolomeo doing a love scene. And that love scene, we always get a male audience member to come up that she can do the love scene with. And, and sometimes a guy just stands there. Sometimes they get into it and they talk, and they start talking too. And they'll, hug her and, and they'll really get into it. In the script, it's all just her. She has all the lines and she's got to hang all over the guy. And it always goes over so well. The audience just cracks up. And, but it always helps when you have an audience member who's really going to get into it. So a lot of times at our shows, I go out and I, kind of scope the crowd to see, and I just kind of look around to see who looks like they're fun. Like, maybe somebody's laughing a lot at a table or somebody's loud or they're just in a good mood, and you just figure, all right, that guy's going to be good. All right, I'll tell Linda to use that guy. Or sometimes we'll ask somebody who's running the event, whatever organization we're there with. Hey, do you have somebody we can pick on for something? If it's a big crowd where they all know each other, so it's always a good thing it's always good to make sure you get the right person to get a reaction out of the crowd. So Murder Mystery Lessons 101 here. So of course Andy's there, and I'm like, of course I got to get Andy to be this guy for the love scene. So and it went over perfectly. So there's Andy with Linda Bartolomeo for the love scene. And, the expressions on his face were priceless. This picture especially, she's down on her knees. And, I mean, if that look from Andy doesn't say it all, man, I laughed my ass off. And he did a fantastic job. And so later on in the show, like I talked about before, we have a dance contest. We brought Andy back up for the dance contest, and he did not disappoint. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I think I might even have a video too of Andy dancing. The way this works for our dance contest, we always have a tie, and then we have the final two contestants have a dance-off at each other where they dance at the same time. So, 80s, Halloween, so it was a costume party. So this guy, you'll see the Andy dancing, the guy he had to dance against. I'm not really sure what his costume was all about, but he had a name tag, and he called himself Sloth. So there's Andy and Sloth. Here they are dancing at each other. These pictures really don't do much justice, especially when Andy danced by himself to qualify for the tie. He was so funny. This is one of my personal favorite shots of Andy, that showing off his better side. This next picture was from him just when he qualified for the tie. This was him just dancing on his own. He was on the floor. He was spinning. He was breakdancing. It was outrageous. Had the place in stitches. I could not. I was crying. I could not stop laughing. Ken Bichelle liked it. I'm going to show a video. I do believe this is video of Andy dancing during the dance off, the tie breaking dance off. Again, I don't know how loud the sound is going to be. You may have to adjust. But here we go.
See
Is that fantastic or what? Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. The floor picture, says Ken Pichelle, that's some computer or phone wallpaper right there. Oh, I'm going to be using that for a long time for whatever I can use it for. Andy, I had effed up my knees on the solo one. Oh, did you really? Yeah, he was all over the floor. You guys, you and Eric, you're not that old. Eric has high blood pressure. He's out of breath all the time. Andy with his heart attacks. How bad? How bad are your knees? I mean, I'm assuming you weren't that bad since you made it here last night to the club. I hope you're all right. But thank you, though, because you were hilarious. Ken Pichelle, that video was incredible. And I wish, I have to look. I think somebody's got video. When he danced, when Andy had to dance by himself to qualify for the tiebreaker, I mean, I was literally crying. He was so funny with that. I'll have to see if anybody. There were definitely people taking video. I'll have to see if I can get my hands on it. Maybe I can track down some audience members because, sometimes the cast may know some people that were there. So, so I'll have to see what I can do and find the video, and I'll hopefully I'll have it for Friday when Andy's here. So that was we great times this weekend. Nothing but a lot of positive feedback. People, commenting on social media. I received some private emails. I knew a guy who went to see the daytime show on Saturday and said he loved every second of it. Can't wait to come back. There was a woman there Saturday night, the show that Andy was at, where she was telling. I mean, she started talking about like her memories from various shows that she's been to of ours. I got to be honest, I didn't recognize this lady. She even was telling us where she saw us and what shows they were and what happened there. She obviously has come to see us. I didn't recognize her. So it was very nice. We had a great weekend of shows. Thank you to the cast. Thank you for everybody for showing up. Thank you to Andy. Thank you to Governors and Peppercorns and the Massapequa American Legion for hosting us. We hope to see you all you guys again. Andy, I tried the worm and slammed both knees into the ground. Oh, I didn't realize that. It was hilarious when you did that. Oh, all right. Now I really want to see the video. Nobody, though, hurts themselves more than Linda Bartolomeo. In fact, I should find that, and I'll have to play that another time. I have video of her where Linda just has a habit of falling, and I actually do have video of her. She was doing one of the shows. She had a long skirt, and it actually went underneath her high heels as she was walking. So her heel cut came down on the dress. So, and she slams the side of her face on the floor. I remember seeing her a day or two later, almost like Mike Tyson's tattoo on his face. Like her face kind of looked like that, and it was all, all swollen. But I do have the video of her. I did make a video some years back calling "Why Does Linda Keep Falling?" And it's like 3 or 4 different videos where she falls in the middle of the show. There's one video she fell right on some lady's lap and spilled her drink all over. Yeah, it's crazy. But, Andy says he's okay now. All right, good. Very happy to hear that, pal. So it was a lot of fun with Knock 'em Dead Comedy this weekend. Please come see us. If you haven't, you will have a blast, I promise. This weekend, Friday night, we are at the St. William the Abbot Church in Seaford. We are performing our Redneck Wedding. I have to tell you, I've never talked so much in my life. Between this show, a weekend of shows with Knock 'em Dead, and then all weekend long at White Post, where that's what I get paid to do at White Post is talk for 9 hours a day. Man, I might not talk the rest of the day, which would make many people very happy. So, so go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. Find out where we are. Like I said, St. William the Abbot in Seaford this Friday. The holidays are coming up. You want to have a fun holiday party? We have our holiday versions of our shows. So check us out on our website. Get information on how to contact us. Everything you need to know. And bring us in for your holiday party, whether it's at home or at some private room somewhere or a corporate holiday event. Contact us, and we'll have a lot of fun with you. Ken Pichelle, Seaford. That's my college roommate's hometown. That's right. I remember you told me that. Seaford. So, yeah, speaking of White Post Farms, Sally and I were there all weekend. Like I said, did a lot of talking. It was kind of a cool weekend. Well, a little bit of a sad weekend. It was the last weekend of the fall festival, so we're done. Those of you who are local and watch News 12, congratulations. You will now stop hearing my voice all the time because apparently the White Post Farms Fall Festival commercial was playing there a lot. If you watch Hershey and Hershey and the Keegs last week, I forget if it was on the air or off the air, where Keegan was like, I'm sick of hearing your voice. And then he punched me. Yes, it was a little bittersweet. It's funny because it's every weekend for 6 weeks, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot. You work hard there at White Post. It's a fun place. The people there that you work with are great. You have a lot of laughs, but you're on your feet all day. The place gets mobbed, so you work hard. And I'm talking about everybody. I'm not just sitting here saying, oh, woe was me, I worked so hard. I probably have it easy. I mean, I'm on my feet all day. It's not easy, trying to figure out what to say because I'm talking all day without a set script. I'm just, off the cuff all day long. But there are plenty of people that work a lot harder than me there, including Sally. So, so a part of you is relieved it's over because, you do it every weekend and, you're tired. You do this for 9 hours. You're tired. You don't want to do This thing, I guess, was closed for renovations. They opened it up without getting any approvals that it was safe. It's a footbridge. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for before. Footbridge. Over the Manchuchu River in the center of Morbytown was packed with sightseers enjoying holidays festivities when it collapsed yesterday, plunging about 33 feet into the river. About 35 victims were under 14, and about 170 people have been rescued as of this morning. Terrible. I don't know. Holiday festivities. I don't know what holiday they're celebrating. Do they have Halloween out there too? I have no idea. And then you got this thing in Seoul where it was a Halloween thing. This is just... Which is why I never cross a bridge without my floaties, says Fremder. Good morning, Andrew. Boy, you've missed a lot. Which is, then leads me to this other thing in Seoul. At first, the young woman felt herself being squeezed by the packed crowd as it slowly pushed down a narrow alleyway in the South Korean capital, where she had been enjoying Halloween festivities Saturday night. Then the squeezing became more like crushing, and soon bodies were pressing against her so tightly that her feet were no longer touching the ground. What the 23-year-old remembers next is being in a pile of people, her lungs flattened, her legs going so numb as she took shallow breaths. She remembers people screaming for help, then falling silent as bodies around her grew limp. I thought, okay, I'm going to be next, said Juliana Velandia Santiella, a medical student from Mexico who was pulled from the crowd by a man standing nearby. I really thought I was going to die, she said. Hello, Joan Asher. Thanks for joining us. By Sunday, those frantic moments had given way to a procession of mourners bringing white flowers and candles to the scene, along with questions about how a celebration could have turned into a crowd crush that killed at least 153 people. One of the worst disasters of its kind in recent history. So they were in an alley for Halloween. It was an outdoor Halloween festival, outdoors, and all these people ended up in an alley, and it's on a hill. So it was so packed that at the top of the hill, some people were they were falling, and it created a cascade. Many people toward the bottom of the hill started chanting, "Stop pushing, stop pushing." But it was really like a domino thing where all these people were just falling and they were just crushing each other. The exact cause of the crowd surge is under investigation. Some said the relatively spontaneous nature of the event. Again, it's outdoors. It was like in like a city, like it was just one big celebration. It wasn't a concert where it's just like a condensed area. So there were no tickets. There were no controlled entries and exits. And all these factors really exacerbate the whole disaster. It wasn't like one people had to, show their ticket and get into like a fenced-in area. This was just like an open event without borders of any kind. So people were just too many people, and they, for whatever reason, ended up in this kind of like an alleyway with this hill, and they started falling. And it started. It wasn't like these concert disasters where you hear these people get crushed. So that's. I just thought that was terrible. 100. What did I say? 153 people died. I mean, that's just crazy to me. 153 people crushed, and then again 100 and what was it? 130 people from 134 from this footbridge that collapsed. That's a lot of people on one footbridge at the same time. Sounds like the lyrics to a Cannibal Corpse song. Everybody's saying hi to Joan. Everybody's saying hi back. From I love dominoes. Excuse me. Bear with me. I my voice is just shot after, 9 hours Sunday, 9 hours Saturday of White Post, murder mystery, shows Friday night, Saturday night. Yeah, my voice is just shot. Not happy Halloween, says Joan. Joan, we were doing all happy stuff until these stories. I saved the sad stories for last. I did all happy stuff. I was talking about the murder mysteries this weekend. I was talking about White Post. I even showed footage from White Post of after a baby cow was born, a calf. I got the footage like 5-10 minutes after the thing was born. It was kind of cool. Voice is shot. Make sure Alec Baldwin doesn't show up at one of these murder mysteries. Oh my goodness, my voice kind of sounds like Alec Baldwin right now because I'm so hoarse from talking all weekend. But Andy's here. I mean, if that doesn't make you happy, Andy's here. This is my Halloween mask, ladies and gentlemen. Ask me any trivia question, I'll beat you. And then I'll sing a song. I don't know. See, this is what happens when I'm by myself. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Joan's going to check out the replay. No, nothing to be sorry about. She says sorry. I'm just glad you're here, Joan. And say hi to Danielle. I have not talked to her in a long time. I hope you have. I'm sure she's very busy right now, right? Election day coming up. Ken Pichel, video of Eric dancing, Andy dancing, and a newborn calf. That's today's show right there. Pretty much it. Just sums it right up. I showed a video of Eric Shevlin dancing. I showed a video of Andy Plagianos dancing. Not together. And a video of a baby calf. But it was upside down. I'm going to post that video in a little while. Fremder, there's probably a lot of cows giving birth in hospitals too. Oh my goodness. All right, well, and I think that's going to do it for me. Because, of course, I got to do my announcements. It has been confirmed. Jay will be here tomorrow for Tuesday Trivia. Yes, Daniel is very busy with Election Day. Right, yeah, that's what I figured. We have not been here the past 2 Tuesdays. So, very excited, very happy. We will be here tomorrow. The past 2 weeks 2 or 3 weeks, we haven't done a full week of shows. This week, we're back to normal. I'm here today. I'll be here tomorrow with Jay and hopefully Dan as well tomorrow. But Jay is confirmed. Thursday, I'll be here with Jeff. Friday, with Andy. So, and November 10th, Brian Scalero, great comedian, very funny guy. He's playing the club November 11th and 12th, I believe it is. He's going to come into the studio Thursday, November 10th. Really looking forward to that. He's a Queens guy originally, but he's out in California now. But, really looking forward to hanging with him. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll try and get some guests, this week, for Thursday and Friday with me and Jeff and me and Andy. But, yeah, very excited to be back tomorrow for Tuesday Trivia. So that's going to be great. Of course, tonight we got Steve Squared. I think the Wirt is on. Or actually, would this be a Wirt week? No, I don't think it would be. I think next week the Wirt's back. And then the following week, November 14th, Flip Tracks Radio will be back. As of now, he's coming back November 14th. It's been a while. So looking forward to that. But Steve Squared is on tonight at 6:30. Of course, if you would like to do your own podcast, whether it's on our station or your own thing, we can still hook you up right here in this great studio right here. Gov's Comedy Club podcast studio right in Governor's Comedy Club. We got microphones, we got lights, we got cameras, we got phones, Zoom, graphics, all sorts of cool stuff. It's right here. Get in touch with us through our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the Facebook page. Get in touch with us. You should have that guest back, Sally O'Neill. You spelled her name wrong. Yeah, we do miss Sally, don't we? Sally, and we wish Sally all the best. She's starting a full-time job next Monday, a week from today. So we wish her all the best with that. Jeff says, have a great day. You too, pal. I miss being told to shut up. Well, you get that on Fridays with Andy. Andy tells you that he picks on. He doesn't even say shut up. He just picks on you. He does better than telling you to shut up. He just shuts you down. Was that all the announcements? Go to govs.com and find out who's playing the club this weekend and come see some great comedy shows. Govs.com. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com and see what Knock 'em Dead Comedy's up to. Find out how you can hire us for your events, whether it's a fundraiser or just a private gig or a corporate function, whatever it may be. knockemdeadcomedy.com. Steve Squared on tonight at 6:30. That's on our YouTube channel. Govs Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the YouTube channel. That's where you'll find that show. We are working on getting all the shows over here to Twitch. Probably a few more weeks. And that's it. Again, we'll be back here tomorrow with Jay is confirmed, so it'll be me and Jay. Hopefully Dan will be here too. It's our return to Tuesday Trivia after missing it for a few weeks. So we'll be back. Looking forward to that. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with this today. You should have a charity event at Governor's called Show Your Knockers. It's actually not a bad idea. Thanks for hanging with us today. Appreciate it, as always. Appreciate all the support. Please, I did it again. Please like the show. Please share it all over your social media stuff. And, again, we appreciate the support very much. It would probably make a lot of money, all donations by me. All right. Have a great rest of your Monday. Enjoy your Halloween. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you later.